I'm sitting down to eat pizza with my college friend and her family. They're in town visiting for a long weekend, and they're staying with me. We spent the day on playgrounds. I showed them my writing studio, and now we're talking about what game we're gonna play after dinner. When little Kate looks across the table at me and says, "Allie, where's your husband?" Wow, this 5-year-old even knows that we live in a coupled culture. Should I tell her that I also wonder where my husband is? Being single at 39 wasn't exactly how I thought my story would go. I think, no, this is what they call a teachable moment. And I try to put my points together. I could tell her, you don't have to be in a relationship, Kate. Or, I've had many serious relationships, but they weren't my person. But that's like probably, too much detail for a kid and like a little bit defensive. Before I can get my response together, her 3-year-old brother chimes in with an answer. Them died. As in, they died. As in, my husband is dead. I was like, oh my God. This kid thinks it's more probable that I'm a widow than just like basic single. I figured like kids today would have more storylines to draw from. So I start laughing, and then obviously the kids start laughing, and their dad comes like hustling in from the kitchen, and he's like, guys, stop laughing. It's not nice to laugh about dead people. I look over at him, and now I'm laughing harder, because I'm like, wait, Tom, what? That's the lesson? No one's dead. My friend tries to explain her 3-year-old, but her husband and I have to walk away because we can't stop laughing. And now I really don't know what to tell Kate. A week later, I think I get asked out by somebody that I'm not interested in, but he's a fellow writer, so I suggest that instead we meet up for coffee and talk about what we're working on. So we sit down at the patio outside of the coffee shop and start chatting. And a few minutes in, he says, we should get dinner sometime. I see this coming, and I'm ready. I say, oh, I don't know what your intentions are, but I just want to be clear from my side, I'm not interested in dating you. He looks pretty shocked, and he says, why not? You're not married. Yeah, just like that, like he was telling me some new data about myself. I was like, I am gonna need a PowerPoint presentation to explain all that is wrong with this comment. I know I don't owe him an explanation, but I say, oh, well, actually, I have a lot going on right now, and I'm just not really dating. But what I don't tell him is that I've just made the choice to redirect my attention from finding a partner to making a baby. And that I'm also questioning myself because I'm afraid that I might be sacrificing one for the other. A few months later, I'm on my way to my new house to meet my friend for a celebratory drink. And I'm walking up the sidewalk when I see my new neighbors, a couple houses down, sitting on their steps. It was a toddler, a man, and a pregnant woman. And they say, welcome to the neighborhood. When are you guys moving in? I said, oh, I'm moving in a few weeks. And they say, where are you coming from? And I say, I'm coming from Logan Circle. And I just wonder if I keep answering in the singular, if they're gonna pick up on it and like follow along. And then the woman says, do you have a husband? I was like, wow, that is some blunt heteronormative presumption. I said, no, I moved up here to have a baby by myself. They say thank you. They say congratulations also, and we ended greetings, and I walk away, and then the folks from across the street walk up, and they say, "Oh, welcome to the neighborhood. Are you guys, in yet? When are you guys moving in? Where are you moving from?" And again with the plural pronouns. And so, new strategy. I say, "Oh, I'm single. I moved up here to have a baby by myself." Which is a little bit of oversharing, but also, like, I'm not pregnant yet. So, like, most people wait till, like, after the first trimester, and I'm like, I think I'm sharing before it started, which is just, like, too much. Too much. Also, like, I'm pretty aware that I can have a baby anywhere, so this story doesn't even make sense. Anyway, we finish up greetings. I say see you soon, and I get to my front door, and my right next door neighbor catches me on the porch, and she says, "Congrats, are you guys settled in yet?" I say, "It's just me. I figured I'd get the house first and the people later." Thank you. So my friend shows up, and I'm telling her about my verbal diarrhea, and now this friend is divorced, which is the best kind of friend for a single woman, because it's a constant reminder that life is not linear and marriage does not equal happiness. And I said, "I don't even know what I'm supposed to say to all these comments." And she says, "You don't know anybody an explanation." And I know that she is right. But also, I think maybe I shouldn't have bought a house for a family I don't even have yet. 3 weeks later, 3 guys show up in a big white van to move me 3 miles up the road. They're packing up all my stuff. We're making small talk. We're making jokes. We're getting along like we're friends. I meet them an hour later up at my new house. They're doing the reverse. They're taking everything out. Should this go upstairs? Should this go downstairs? And they're almost done, and one guy stops in the middle of the living room, and he turns to me, and he says, "Wait, you said you're single? Why? Are you crazy? You gotta be crazy or something, because you're attractive." I was like, what is this, the 1950s? Can't a gal just own her own house and be single? Do you want to know I also have my own bank account? What I really want to say is, you're 25 with 5 kids under 5. I don't think objectively I'm the one that's crazy. But instead I just say, "Nope, just single." And I think, is something wrong with me? A few weeks ago, I'm sitting at a breakfast table with a different friend's daughter. And this 6-year-old turns to me and says, "Allie, have you considered getting a husband?" I was like, "You have got to be kidding me." Like, am I being punked? Is this like Candid Camera? But I do get why, like, all these people are so confused. And I don't even think it's their fault. We're all trying to make sense, trying to have an explanation that fits what we're familiar with in a culture where we're supposed to be coupled and things are supposed to go in a certain order. But this time I'm prepared because I've had a lot of practice. And so I said, "Why do you ask?" I actually really wanted to say "them died." I said, "Why do you ask?" And she says, "Because then you can get a husband. Then you can have a baby." And I said, "I don't need a husband to have a baby." I bookmark for a later lesson that women have the pressure of a biological clock, but we also have the ovens, and you can buy the missing ingredients on the internet. This whole time I would love to tell you guys that all these comments, all these questions I've figured out exactly what to say, and I've dealt with all my insecurities. I'm still working on that. But I do know that living in this one narrow story that everybody else seems to be living in is messing up the real one that I am living in. And I think it's a pretty good one. Thank you, guys.
Allie Cherry, check out the Writer's Salon, and you can find her on